A lot has been said about this year's draft class. No clear-cut number one, no all-stars, and just that it is flat out bad. But in all honesty, the hate is too much. Yeah, the draft isn't as great as others, but there is clear-cut talent and valuable guys that can make NBA teams significantly better. Spoiler alert, there is a clear-cut number one guy that we're going to talk about too. Let's break it down. Okay, so considering that the reason there is so much disappointment for the draft this year is centered around the lack of a number one overall talent, it's easy to miss a strength. This draft is filled with guys who can be strong contributors for winning teams. The NBA is now moving towards an era of deep rosters versus stacking stars. Role players are a must-have for team success. I have a video about that topic that you can check out right here. Being realistic, if you come out of this draft with a guy who is a great role player that lasts a long time in the NBA, you did your job well. For every Stephen Curry, there is even more Johnny Flints. And if you don't know who that is, he was drafted in front of Curry and he only lasted 3 years in the league. And what that means is that it's really hard and unlikely that you draft a star. But in this draft, you can come away with a staple for the franchise for many, many years. The variety is going to be enormous too, so much so that the order these guys are picked may rely solely on what team is choosing and what they need, more so than many of the drafts in recent years. The current projected number one, Alex Sarr, may have a slight chance at becoming a star, but right now he can immediately come in as a defensive plus big who is switchable and a quality finisher. Need a six-man / bench scorer? Well, Rob Dillingham is the guy to get. How about a strong wing capable of being your point of attack defender? Look at Stephon or Ron Holland. The list goes on and on and on, whether you need size, defense, scoring, or just floor spacing. Any of the 30 teams can benefit from a draft like this. And conveniently, 10 of the 14 lottery teams this year already have established stars and should be looking to clean up the edges and build a winning culture. But for the teams who need a star, there is one guy I believe has the best chance at filling that role, Reed Sheppard. But before we get into that, if you like the video so far, consider subscribing to the channel, where we break down the NBA and your favorite players using deep cutting-edge analytics to learn more beyond just the traditional stats. Videos are uploaded 2 to 3 times a week. So Sheppard might not be the most dynamic and flashy guy, but what he does well, he does at an elite level. Sheppard is a shooter, not just a floor spacer, catch and shoot guy, but an all-out sniper. For Kentucky, he connected on 52% of his three-pointers this past season. The variety he got to these shots was impressive. Catch and shoot, off the dribble, navigating screens on ball or off ball, it was all there. If a three was available, he was going to take it, and more likely than not, he's going to make it. That ability to stretch the floor opens up a lot for whatever team drafts him, but it also helps the rest of his game. Sheppard is good at creating once he drives inside the arc. He has a nice soft touch around the basket, an assortment of moves, and is able to find the open guy. Most likely not the lead guy, but a secondary ball handler, he still showed immense upside as a passer, finding open teammates, throwing perfect lobs, and using his own scoring pressure to create open looks around him. He's not as athletic as other guys despite his impressive 42-inch vertical at the draft combine. Guys can usually overcome that on offense, but defensive issues are common. Yet he was a menace on that end. He would hound his opponents, chasing them all over the court with constant high energy. On the ball, he's comfortable staying in front of his man and making them uncomfortable. Off ball, he often read the play to anticipate passes or shots to get the right timing on help defense. Without even passing the 30-minute per game mark, the Kentucky guard averaged 0.7 blocks and 2.5 steals. Steals being one of the best indicators for performing in the NBA, Sheppard had a 4.6 steal rate. Considering 2.5 is average, that's super encouraging. Even if this is just who he is as his floor, this version of Reed Sheppard can already contribute to winning games. But with his hard work ethic and ability to shine in big moments, he might just have the mentality to get even better. So before you knock on the draft, remember that it might have ripple effects in the NBA for many seasons to come. Subscribe for more videos just like this.